Well, we have as a frequent guest, Congressman Mike Johnson. Welcome home. What you doing around town this week?
Well, this is really the first break we've had in this busy Congress to do district week work. So we're all over. You know, we have 15 parishes in the 4th Congressional District, and today I'm going to be at about 6 of them, crisscrossing the area. We have town halls all over the place. It's lots of activity when we're at home.
What do you think? What do you think with town halls today? 3, 4, 5. I don't know. You're a pretty busy guy. What do you think the major topic? What do you think the big question that people ask at those meetings is going to be?
Well, there's so much going on right now. Top of mind for everyone, of course, is Syria. I mean, that's the big story of the weekend, and there's lots to relay there, of course. And people are very interested in the hearings we had on flood relief. Governor Edwards was in Washington this past week, and there was some fireworks, as you all saw, and I know you've discussed. And of course, everybody's concerned about the health care bill, and there's good news on that front as well. So lots of things going on.
There's a survey that we've got online at KEELnews.com where folks can now apply to get federal help. And I'm a little bit concerned or a little bit confused, I guess, is I thought everybody applied with FEMA and all that was already rolling. Well, now the state is saying you need to fill out this survey and they're going to give the money based on needs. What do you know about this? Why are we having to go through this another survey?
Erin, I heard you reporting on that this morning, and I'm grateful that you all put it at the website and that people can go and fill out the survey. But it's absolutely inexcusable for the state to be doing this at this late stage. I mean, we've got thousands of Louisiana families and businesses that are still struggling to recover from the floods from last March and August, and it's been this long, and they're just now putting the survey up. I mean, it's ridiculous. We had this hearing at the House Oversight Committee last week, and you all saw the highlights from it, but I mean, the evidence presented there showed that much of this delay in the relief can be attributed to these vast inefficiencies and really just incompetence and really cases of outright fraud in the administration of these taxpayer-funded programs. So the problem is the federal and state government, it's been an epic failure. They have failed the citizens of Louisiana once again, and it's just infuriating to watch it happen.
Senator Kennedy called the governor's efforts to award this contract, and I'm quoting, 3 Stooges-like. Would you agree?
Look, I called it at the hearing. I said, let's just be honest here. It's been an epic failure. And I made the point that was highlighted in a lot of the stories that covered that hearing, that Louisiana, I mean, our citizens, we do recovery very well, right? Because we have so much experience with it, sadly. But we do recovery well here on our own. It's because neighbors pull together and communities pull together and help one another. We do it not with the help of the government, but in spite of the government. And if it weren't for that, I mean, I don't know what would happen to our state.
Do we risk getting future help because of how we've handled this?
That's a very real concern, Erin. And I mean, at the hearing, I throttled back on the governor. I mean, he took a beating from Republicans and Democrats across the country, elected officials who look at this and say it's inexcusable. And we actually were trying to, I mean, the governor's, you know, my old nemesis. We went to law school together. We've been debating public policy for 20 years. We're friendly. But I had to show a little mercy on him because it was so bad. And ultimately, Erin, that's the concern we have. We actually need more relief dollars. We've already had $1.6 billion allocated for this, but none of it's been given out to the victims yet. And they asked Governor Edwards at the hearing how many people are still displaced, and he said he didn't know. He didn't even have the statistics, the basic numbers in front of him to testify before Congress, and it was just infuriating.
Mike, let's talk about the Syrian airstrikes from last week. A lot of people, I venture to say most people, are really confused by the situation in Syria. Who's on whose side, who's the bad guy. In about 30 to 45 seconds, can you give us a Syrian situation primer?
Listen, there's lots of bad guys in Syria. There really isn't a good side. They've been locked in civil war. They have various factions battling one another, and most of it is directly tied to radical Islam. So it's a very complex situation. But at the end of the day, I fully supported President Trump's action. We had to do that. The Obama administration infamously drew this, line in the sand, and they did nothing when it was blatantly ignored. And so what that risked is the standing of the United States around the world. Now, we had to take swift, decisive action here. We hit exactly the right target. I had a classified, top-secret briefing with the Joint Chiefs of Staff with other members of Congress on Friday, and suffice it to say, we knew exactly what we were hitting, we knew exactly why, and we had to take that action. This guy is a madman, Bashar al-Assad, he's ruthlessly murdering innocent civilians and children, and we can't allow that bloodshed to go on. We sent a message, and there's a new sheriff in town. America's back on top, and I think it's going to have the desired effect.
Statement released by the Assad regime, and I'm quoting, "What America waged is an aggression on Syria, is a crossing of red lines. From now on, we will respond with force to any aggressor or any breach of red lines, and America knows our ability to respond well." How seriously should we be taking this threat?
Not at all. It's bluster. This guy is a schoolyard bully, and we just put him in his place. I mean, they're going to say lots of things, but they are not going to mess with America, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore. It's in a message to Putin. It's in a message to North Korea. Look, America's back on top. We're not the world's policeman, but we will stand for justice. We are not going to allow innocent children to be gassed by these ruthless dictators. Every dictator in the world just took note. And Donald Trump is not going to take this, and we're going to stand behind him. The Congress is going to be united. I mean, bipartisan support for decisive action, because we have to do that. A safe America is good for the entire world. And Ronald Reagan said, we maintain the peace through strength. We showed it, and we had to do that.